Cody, my breaststroke pull needs improvement. It's not the most technically proficient, it's the weakest part of my breaststroke. I need your help. That's what this video's for. Don't worry, I've got you covered. Welcome back to my classroom. Before we get started today, this video is sponsored by Built Bar. Built Bars are my absolute favorite after workout snack. They are the best tasting power bars that I have ever had. I stand by that. There's 18 grams of carbs, 17 grams of protein, and only 5 grams of sugar. They're real, coated in real chocolate. These things are delicious. If you're interested, click the link in the description below. Use my promo code CODY10 to get 10% off your order. When it comes to training, and particularly training breaststroke, my absolute favorite element of training is breaststroke pull. Today we're gonna talk about my 3 biggest tips to improving your breaststroke pull. Now it goes without saying that there is a variety of different types of breaststroke pulls, whether you're a long course 200-meter breaststroker or a short course 50 sprint breaststroker, there's gonna be a little variance here. But there are certain technical components of the breaststroke pull that we see across the board from all of the world's fastest swimmers. And this is number 1. This is the one that sticks out to me the most. All of the fastest breaststrokers in the world, when you look at the top 20, whether you're Adam Peaty or Lily King, they all do this. They all have a very high elbow catch position with a super narrow pull. So this right here, this is what you're looking for. The elbow is right underneath the surface of the water. The fingertips are pointing down at the bottom of the pool, and they're hurling themselves forward in this position right here. Now there's a lot of variance across the board as far as how far the arm should sweep out before switching into the catch position, but just in general, high elbow, fingertips pointing down, that's the first thing. Tip number 2 is the recovery part of the breaststroke. So after you're finished pulling, when you're in this position, the throw of the stroke, the forward movement of your arms, that should be very, very fast. That should be arguably the fastest part of your stroke. From here to here should be lightning fast. You're generating momentum to shoot yourself forward that you're then allowing your good body position to help carry you through. And it starts with the shoot through of the hands. Tip number 3. This is something that I think is crucial to the breaststroke pull that I never see anybody else talk about. The effort level of the throw of the breaststroke and the scoop, the pull itself, shouldn't always be the same. The throw of the stroke is fast, and then you outsweep, you get yourself into the catch position, and then you scoop. This is always fast, 100% effort. But I oftentimes find that a lot of breaststrokers are more efficient, more powerful, and overall faster moving through the water when they don't scoop as hard as possible, when they dial that back just a little bit. See, I think there's this conception that this whole breaststroke motion is the same effort all the way through. And I don't buy into that narrative. I think, as I said, this is super fast all the time, but then the outsweep, the catch, and the scoop, there might be a slightly different effort level, right? So if you think about this as being 100% maximum effort, then this motion may be 90-95% maximum effort. And that's gonna change depending on the race, right? A 50-meter breaststroker is probably gonna be scooping and pulling as hard as possible. But as you often hear in breaststroke, sometimes people slip, sometimes people aren't pulling or holding a lot of water, sometimes people spin. Oftentimes you hear breaststrokers at a world championships talk about how they started to spin. I think that's because sometimes they rush through this motion and it's not the most technically sound way to swim through the water. My advice to any breaststroker, 50 breaststroker, 200 breaststroker, is just to play around with the effort of that scoop itself, because you might be more efficient with just a little bit less effort. It might help with your timing. I mean, I could do a 30-minute video on this kind of thing, and every swimmer is different. Your anatomy is different, your stroke is gonna be different, but just in general, think about these 3 things. A high elbow catch with a narrow pull, a lightning fast recovery, and number 3, the intensity and the effort that goes into the scoop of the pull itself. You might want to play around with that effort level. Just an idea. Regardless of what your breaststroke pull looks like, the best way to get faster at it is to just get stronger. And there are two ways of training this. There are two ways of doing this. The first way is to increase your power, the maximum wattage that your breaststroke pull can generate. And an example of something in training that I did just last week was 2 sets of 10-25s breaststroke pull with resistance. Here it is right here. That's a set. Total maximum power. So you're basically sprinting as hard as possible the whole time with a solid amount of rest. Now the other side of that coin is increasing your muscular endurance. So you need to be able to sprint, but you also have to be able to maintain that stroke rate, to maintain that power output, and to finish a race strong. In our breaststroke group, we do a lot of over distance pulling. So a set, for example, 5 200s breaststroke pull with resistance, with a black tube, with a band around the ankles, with a parachute, something like that. 8 100s short interval breaststroke pull, maybe on 120, something of that nature. My favorite is when we mix the two together, when you're training power and muscular endurance, when you weave the two together. And a set like that right there we did just a few weeks ago, that's about 1,200 yards of breaststroke pulling at different intensity levels, at different rest intervals. There's a lot of way to do this stuff, and this is the kind of stuff that I love. My breaststroke coach, Ray, basically thinks it's almost impossible to overtrain the breaststroke pull, to do too much breaststroke pull. And we do a lot of it on a daily basis in a breaststroke practice. We do anywhere from 800 to 1,600 yards or meters of breaststroke pull at varying levels of intensity, just to give you guys an idea. I hope this video helps someone out there improve their breaststroke. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys think. As always, make sure you guys are following me on social media, at SwimMiller on Twitter and at Cody Miller on Instagram. Vlogs every Wednesdays and Cody's Classroom every Friday. If you haven't already, please subscribe to this YouTube channel and become a member of our swim family. We have merch on the merch store. If you're interested, check that stuff out. Until my next video, I will see you guys later.